Hello, Elaine back again. Now, here we are in eza2 articles, and obviously the first thing that you will need to do if you haven't got an account already is to set one up. I have an account, so all I had to do was go into Article Manager, submit a new article, and it brought me into this page here, Submit an Article. Okay, so first of all, I just like to mention this new facility here, learn how to submit an article to eza2 articles. It's a fairly new addition to eza2 articles, and there actually is an audio help for each of these different areas to tell you what it is that eza2 articles intend you to put into the different areas, and a little bit of advice about each. So it's well worth your while just taking the time to read or to listen to those different little bits of advice that they will give you. Now, we'll start off by selecting a category, and the one that's most suitable for this article is Internet and Businesses Online. Obviously, you would pick the one that suits your niche and the subject of your article, okay? And the sub-niche that is most suitable for my article then is I'm going to go for web development, which is a fairly broad one. If you can't actually find a subcategory that just seems to suit exactly, there is actually an option to choose none, and the people who actually process your article and check that everything is okay with it, they can sometimes change your subcategory themselves if they, or even your category, if they reckon that you've chosen the wrong one. Okay, now for our article title, all we're going to do is go into the Word document and copy and paste. And go back into eza2 and paste. Okay, right, so moving on from there. Now we need to talk a little bit about this here. This area is where eza2 articles ask you to give a summary of what your article is going to be about. It appears in eza2 articles itself. If somebody is searching for an article, they can actually see a summary of what the article is about. And even more important than that, when somebody puts in your search term or your keyword into Google and your article comes up on page 1 of Google, which is what we are aiming for, underneath the title of the article there will be a couple of sentences which actually refer to the content, which are actually taken out of this summary here, and it's to do with the content of your article. Okay, so it is obviously important that that is something which sounds very relevant for what the person was actually searching, and which sounds enticing and encourages them to read the article. Okay, so because of the way that I actually structure my articles and the fact that my first paragraph always actually is a summary of the article, it's the simplest thing to do is actually to go and a file has just nearly fallen on top of me and scared the wits in me. Now, the easiest thing to do is to go to your article and copy and paste the first paragraph. Okay, right, we'll just copy that there and put it into this summary here. That's partly why I do that first paragraph always in the form I do, because it makes it very easy then when it comes to this stage that I can just transfer it directly in there. Okay, and now for the article body, and again all we're going to do is, we've already done all the hard work, we're just going to go into our Word document and we will be actually copying the whole article, including that first paragraph, which was the summary. The whole article we will be copying. Actually, not the end bit, because that's actually the resource box. So we'll go from the beginning here down there. Okay, and that end bit there is what we're going to put separately into the resource box. And we copy, and we go to eza2 articles again. Okay, and we paste in there. Okay, now if you want to make any of that article bold or underline or italicize it or anything like that. All you have to do is add in these tags. For example, this will turn it bold. Okay, this part here. And you start off with the tag as they have it above, and then to finish it you do / and the B. Okay, and the same would apply for all of those tags. At the beginning of the area you want to change, you put in the tag, and at the end it's a / and the rest of the tag. Okay, so we'll move on then from there, and we put in our keywords, which in this case were pay button and buy now button, and make sure that you have a comma in between them so that they know that they're two separate keywords. They will actually come up with some suggested keywords, but they're rarely of any use, so I wouldn't worry too much about them. Just put in the ones that you have researched and that you know you actually want to use. Okay, now I always put in a custom resource box for the reasons that we've described already. We don't want our resource box just to look like a standardized resource box which has been added onto the end of the article. So in order to avoid that, we have our custom resource box that we have actually already put together, and all we have to do is once again copy and paste right into our resource box. Okay, we need to add a couple of this mouse is playing up on me a little bit. It must need to be cleaned out. Now, what I also do as well, I put in a break just after. eza2 articles will put a reference directly under the last line of your article. I put in a break there just to make my signature stand out a bit better. You'll see what I mean whenever we do the preview of the article. Okay, so that's everything added into all of the boxes, and we move down in here. I would always recommend to do a preview before you submit, and make sure that spell check is ticked there as well. It'll highlight any mistakes or spelling mistakes. Okay, so here's what our article is going to look like when it's published. Okay, and as I mentioned, there is the area that we made bold. Okay, and we come down here and you'll see that this is the bit that we put into the resource box, and it just looks part of the rest of the article. And also there is the break before the article source there. That actually, if you click on that link there when it's published, it actually brings you into the author profile, which is another area that you fill in, just giving a little bit of details about your business and something very small about yourself. And actually that's another reason why you don't need to add those details into your resource box, because if somebody is interested in hearing about you or reading about you, they click here and they can read about you all they like, but they're not interested in reading about you in the resource box. Okay, so everything looks fine there. We'll close the preview, and you come down here, tick that you have read and understood all of the terms of the author's agreement, which I would recommend that you will have done, and then you click submit the article. Okay, I'm not going to actually do it because, as I've said before, I've already submitted this article and it has been published, so I can't submit it again. So there you go, that's actually eza2 articles. And you submit your article, and then you wait to hear whether or not they are willing to publish it or not, which hopefully, if you've done it correctly, they will be. So in the next article I'm going to just show you what it's like when it's published, and a couple of other things. So I'll see you there.